My number one secret for creating content that gets you sales. Now, sales is all about one thing, and that's trust. If you get people to trust you, then they will buy from you. But you can't get a sale until you get someone's trust first, especially if you're selling something that costs quite a lot of money to invest in. You really need to make sure that you get people's trust. So when you're creating content, so there isn't some kind of hack to gain people's trust, and I really wouldn't want to kind of promote that anyway because it sounds a bit dodgy, but there is a way that you can build trust relatively quickly with your potential customers, and that is by being ultra transparent. If you are ultra transparent in your content, then you can build trust very, very, very quickly, which means you can turn that trust into sales. And in this video, I'm just going to go through 3 examples of companies that build trust really well and get sales off the back of it. Now, the first one is Buffer, and Buffer is a social media marketing tool which helps you manage your social media content. It helps you plan it all out and schedule it and post it. Now, Buffer is in a very, very competitive space. He's got lots and lots of competitors that all do pretty similar things to Buffer. They're all kind of different price points, and Buffer kind of sits in the middle of those. Really, there's nothing about its features that make it exceptionally stand out amongst its competitors. It's a great tool, and I like using the tool personally, but there's nothing that makes it hugely different from anyone else. However, one thing they do incredibly well is be transparent. So they actually publish the salaries of all their staff, and they publish their year-on-year revenue as well. And this is incredibly helpful content because it builds huge amounts of trust. Firstly, their audience, typically of marketers, social media marketers, business owners, entrepreneurs, find this content really interesting. They find it fascinating to look at. They're actively looking at it. So it appeals to their audience because they're creating content that they want to know about. They want to know how to build their own businesses and how to scale their own teams and do things like that. So looking at Buffer doing the same thing and Buffer being so open about it actually makes for very, very interesting content. But the second most important reason it does so well is because it builds a huge amount of trust and transparency. It says, you know what, we pay our staff this, we pay our staff really well, and we actually earn this every single year. We're a trustworthy company. We want to be open about how much we earn, about how much we pay our staff, about how kind of fair this all is. And it really helps build huge, huge amounts of trust and helps Buffer stand out amongst a very, very competitive marketplace of companies that are all very, very similar. So this is a really, really genius idea from Buffer. And I don't believe it comes from a place of, let's just do this for a marketing tactic. It feels like it comes from a place of they really want to be transparent because they really care about that. They really care about everyone knowing, how much they pay their staff salaries so that everyone is aware of that. It's not under cloak and dagger who gets what and how much someone else is paid. If there's a differentiation of pay between 2 different people when it shouldn't be, or if it's unfair, it really feels like that's something that they believe in and that they stick to. And that's really, really nice. And it's something that a lot of people have bought into. So Buffer have effectively managed to make sales after being completely transparent about their revenue and staff salaries and so many other aspects of their business as well. The second example is a company called Everlane, who are a fashion retailer who are extremely transparent. They actually refer to themselves as radically transparent. So if you go on Everlane's website, you'll be able to find out exactly how much something costs, also the breakdown of how much it costs to actually make that item. So they'll tell you exactly how much they pay their factory workers, exactly how much it costs to fly over the garment from wherever it is to over to wherever it's being delivered, exactly how much the material costs, where they source the material, what the factories are like, where people work. They break down everything so you can see exactly where your clothes are coming from, how much it costs to make them, and how much the people in between that process are being paid to make them. This makes you understand that the people that Everlane work with, that they employ, are paid fairly, that everyone gets a good cut of the profits, and it explains to you why perhaps you're paying a little bit more for that t-shirt or that pair of jeans than you would somewhere else, but why it actually is worth it because so many people are getting good benefits out of the process. So Everlane have built a really, really good company through being radically transparent, and they're able to get sales from their customers because of it, for the simple reason that they were upfront of exactly how much all their their clothing cost and how much it costs for the people to make them. And the third one, now we don't put ourselves in the range of Buffer or Everlane, but we are a small B2B company and we do pride ourselves on being very transparent with our customers. So at Jammy, we always create content around our products and services that help people make a better buying decision. That's why we create content about how much we charge, why we might charge more than another company, how we work, who we're not the right fit for, even things like why we don't pitch for projects, why we don't pitch for work, and what we do instead. We're constantly creating content that helps us communicate better with our potential clients in order for them to make the right decision before working with us. The last thing that we want is to work with someone who isn't the right fit for our business and take their money when they're not going to get a good return on investment and not going to be happy with the service. It is the last thing that we want. So we want to make sure that we're constantly communicating with our potential clients, making sure that they're making the right decision and that they're investing in the right way, which is why we create so much content around this topic. We want to make sure that essentially the content we create helps people make the best buying decision they can. And there you have it. The secret to sales is just about transparency. If you're able to be transparent in your business, not for a gimmicky reason, but because you want to be able to provide a better customer service, then you will naturally make more sales. Transparency should be a given for every business. Unfortunately, it isn't. So you will naturally stand out if you're transparent and many of your competitors aren't. I would love to know your thoughts on using transparency in your business, and if it's something that you've ever thought about before, please let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified the next time we release a video.